tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is, what is it? Oh, it's The Messengers episode 8, A House Divided.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah, I'm your host, Tauri Miller, and joining me is the wonderful Alison Dean.
Hello, I am here with you, Tauri.
Where can they find you on the social media?
Oh, on all social media, at the Alison Dean.
Awesome.
Awesome sauce.
And from the booth, we have Alexis Torres.
Hey everybody. Oop, that's not my face. Hello. How are you? I missed all of your guys' faces. You're amazing. Wow.
Aw, where can they find you?
Oh, duh. You can find me all over the interwebs as atorres890.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop.
And you can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. It's TauriJay. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. And if you have the chance, rate, give the thumbs up. So like, rate, subscribe, all those things, because it means the world to us. And we thank you for joining us. So, let's start with general thoughts on the episode itself.
General thoughts. Okay. Well, I thought a lot of people were missing from this episode, like carrying through from last week.
Yeah.
I was a little irritated that, like, where did Charlotte go? I thought that there might be some rekindling or at least just she'd be there still, you know, because it seemed like that was all happening. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Alan also just gone. Yeah. Alan's gone. We don't know where he is. No Alan. And then Rose also. Well, see you later, all my messengers. I'm going to go find my fiance after all this time of him abandoning me.
Right.
No, you wouldn't. You'd, like, stick with your... I don't know. So anyway, the episode was a little... I mean, there was a lot of stuff that happened.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, I thought it was interesting how... Well, we're going to get to that, but they all sort of came apart and came back together. Aw. But, yeah, there was, like, many moments of I was like, huh?
Yeah, I will say that everyone leaving was slightly contrived, I'll say.
Yeah.
But I thought that it being a catalyst for everything else that happened was pretty well done.
Yes.
So that's cool.
Okay.
I mean, kind of let's talk about everyone where we kind of start off, where people think that people think the job is done. They stopped one horseman. It's one and done.
I was like, are you kidding me? No. There's that senator that's still out there doing crazy shenanigans, and the devil is definitely still out there. So that part was just a little hard to believe, where they were like, oh yeah, our job is done.
Yeah.
Leland Schiller is caught. We're all good.
Yeah, and I like that their reaction was, I mean, evil is always going to be there. The devil was here before, so the devil's always going to be here.
So we can just move on now.
Yeah.
No.
But
No,
yeah, exactly.
No.
Right? Didn't you think so, Alexis?
I mean, it was more along the lines, it was just weird for me, because the whole time I was sitting there going, okay, wait a minute. So, because we defeated one horseman when there's supposedly 4, we're just going to just throw it out the window and be like, yeah, we're good, evil is dealt with. We're fine. Let's go in our separate ways and do things that we wanted to do. And I was like, okay, all right, sure, whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I thought it was weird.
I thought it was weird. Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
But I don't disagree with you in that how they then structured everything to give us kind of more backstory on different topics.
Right.
And then also how lovely it was when they all came back together in the market, of all places.
Right.
I mean, just darling. Yeah, so that I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
Yeah, and I would say, because I had previously compared this to a video game.
Okay. Oh, okay. Love it. Yes.
So for them, it's the equivalent if, say you had a mission to gather 4 items because your enemy, the main big bad boss, needed the 4 items to destroy the world.
Right.
So this is the equivalent in their minds to them destroying one of the 4 items, which means that the bad guy can't complete his end goal. So if he had a weapon that was comprised of 4 parts, it wouldn't have its barrel or its trigger.
But I guess I would hope that someone like Vera, and I mean, obviously she was the one that was totally like, what are you all doing? But the thing is someone like the devil, it's not like he wouldn't have like a backup like horseman in mind or something.
Right.
At least that's what I would suspect.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy didn't prove well, but hey, there's only billions of other people I can choose from.
Yeah, I also agree with you on that one, because when it didn't go to plan and I was like, okay, where are we gonna go with this? Does he have a backup? Is he gonna I mean, we did see him get bailed out of jail, but Tauri and I were like, oh, he got the senator did it, which we found out that's what that's what she did.
Happened.
And then we'll get into that whole cluster F later, but but yeah, I was just surprised that he wasn't even informed of the fact that he was even let out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Which kind of brings us to our next point about, like, they get that wave that showed that the sign, or not the sign, but the seal was broken.
Right.
And they're all like, they all just gave up real fast.
I know.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like that either. But I did think it was interesting that they could not be in the room with the horsemen and still feel the like whatever that energy wave was. Because at first I was like, whoa, wait, did they what just happened? You know, I was a little disoriented for a moment, and then we come to find that Rose also felt it wherever she was in Seattle or whatever.
Yeah, she was in Seattle.
But yes, they did really all were like, well, okay, that's fine. The horseman, he's a horseman, and we can't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
Bye.
Which is, to me, is funny.
You seem like it's so funny to me.
No, I like it because, so, from a storytelling standpoint,
right?
This concept of them battling with the imminence of the apocalypse should be a really big thing.
Hell, yes.
It should be like a really big emotional driver for the rest, because from this point on, they're like, oh, wait. We are no better than, like, we're not better than the devil. We failed so many times. We might as well just pack it in.
Right.
However, this is undercut by the fact that we know that there have been other messengers. So it's not the end-all be-all.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Although, at the same time, the messengers there may, even though they're aware that there have been messengers that have come before them, I think it's hard for them to maybe envision it or connect to it because they haven't yet met one of the previous messengers up until that point. And so I feel like had Rose maybe been a prior messenger, or I don't know, just someone that like could speak to like legitimate stories or something, they could have.
Well, that's what we have the homeless lady for. Or,
well, we do, but we don't. They don't have that until the end of the episode.
That's later, yeah.
I was like, that's later, Alexis. Come on.
I'm just saying.
I mean, do we want to take a little time to talk about the established lore that they're kind of building right now?
Sure.
Because
good way of putting it, Tauri. The established lore.
Yeah.
That should be
That's
like,
what it is.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, they're building a world. And so in this world, we find out that every generation there are messengers.
Right.
We find out that this has happened over 6 times. And we also...
Does that seem like the right number?
If you think about it in terms of... chronologically, a generation could be 100 years or so. Every 100 years is a generation because those people give birth and start the new generation, and etc.
Okay.
So with that in mind, you could say that it's been 600 years of testing. That would take us into the 1300s or so. I am not a history person, so I don't know what was going on then, but I want to say that there were crusades. Audience,
that's what
I know. I was like,
that's exactly.
Hello,
what I was
everyone.
thinking.
Tell us, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, for all you history fans out there, let us know in the comments below, like, exactly if this was in fact the first one happened in the 1300s or so. What was going on around that time? Like, because you'd have to imagine that was about when all of the spread Christianity across the world and all that stuff was happening.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Right. Okay.
The wheels are turning. I think I can smell the burning of the grease. It's happening. Okay. Those cogs there.
So I mean, that's the established lore that we've gotten. All the information based on things kind of told to us in passing. Right. And from what we understand, also, each of the messengers get the same set of powers. So Eliza was a premonition person, so you could assume that all the other messengers of her time
had the same powers.
I wonder if we're going to meet other prior ones. Like, I wonder if she's still connected to, Right. I wonder. That would be cool.
Maybe.
I don't know if we'll have time in this season, but
all right,
possibly.
One can hope.
Yes.
One can hope.
But before we get on to all the different directions that everyone has gone into.
And man, were there definitely
There's so many things.
Yes.
We should take a little bit of time to, one, talk about you and iTunes and how we love your support and we love hearing from you. We love your comments and hearing your tweets and all that stuff. And we want you to keep on doing what you're doing. If you haven't yet, again, make sure to subscribe so you can get all the best AfterBuzz content. And while you're at it, a way that you can help us out, because we at AfterBuzz produce over 80 hours a week of content, and we do it for free. We don't charge you anything. And so a way that you can help us out and give back to this network is by going to Podcast One and filling out a survey to help us become a better network. It'll be just 3 minutes of your time.
Or less if you're super stealth.
That's true. If you're an internet wizard, you could kill that thing in like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
I believe in you. Yes.
You could even do it while you're listening to this podcast.
Yes.
Unless you're driving, then I would wait until I'm at a computer. But otherwise, make sure that you go to podcastone.com and fill out the survey and let us know how we can improve or what we're doing amazingly and just how we can best serve you as our audience member.
Well said,
and
Tauri.
thank you for that.
Yes.
I love that.
Thank you.
Perfection.
So everyone decides to go off on
See you later.
their own way.
Yeah.
I know. It was so disheartening.
Yeah.
Bye.
They're just like, oh no, a horseman? Oh no, we're done.
We're done.
We can't do it.
Alaska sounds great.
Hey man, Alaska does sound
well,
great.
Yeah, no, it does.
But it doesn't matter. It's not going to keep you away from the apocalypse. Everyone's going to die.
I know. I love how Raul when he was like, let's go to Alaska because at least it'll reach us like last.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like, wow, that's the way to look at it. Let's go to Alaska because we'll be safe the longest.
Yeah, I'd like to imagine that the horsemen have this giant map with X's all over every country and state, and they're like, did we forget anything? Alaska!
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
That's true. Last stop for the apocalypse.
I know. Alaska! Who's on the train? Let's go.
Oh, we got two messengers. We got to make sure we make them priority.
Oh, yeah.
So weird. So weird.
Yeah. First two people on that train is Erin and Raul.
And Amy.
Amy.
Was it? Were they the first to escape? Well, I think it was Josh. He was like, he actually was the first, right? But okay, let's go.
Yeah, but technically,
okay, we won't get technical here.
Joshua.
He was all drugged up and hyped. That's true. That's why.
Let's forget him. Forget him. Yes. Okay. So yes, Raul. Good old Raul.
Yeah. So he's planning to go. Oh, I've just remembered how juicy this story was.
Right.
It was quite the love triangle. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Was anybody else upset with this whole thing? How like. It's Gabrielle, right? Is the ex-wife? How she was just like, if you don't, I mean, again, I know I'm skipping around. I just need to talk about the attitude that was coming out of this lady's mouth. Where she was just like, are you coming? It's family. I was like, whoa, hey, hello. He doesn't know that. I mean, I had a weird inkling that he might have been the father the whole time that we had this season going on.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was sitting there going like, why are you being so like, what are you doing?
Because they were in love.
I don't care.
In love.
I don't care. You're the one that left, and he had to go do his own thing, but you can't sit there and come back and be like, you're my man now. Let's go. Like, you don't just do that. Obviously, Erin is also lonely and needs love too. So just
Right.
She definitely needs some good loving.
hell yes. I said it. I said it.
She does. I'm totally in agreement.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm 100%. And I was also thinking, so based on the mathematics of it all, that would mean that, okay, so Gabby, okay,
Yeah,
Yes.
Gabby.
and Raul's brother had been married, and I guess Raul and Gabby had been hooking up
That whole-
prior to,
Yeah.
Yes.
but before, like, I guess during the marriage, but before Nadia was born.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, man, a lot of time has gone by with like out clearing the air here. You know, the fact that the mom, especially, I don't know, I just think that that's kind of Looney Tunes, where the mom's like, hey, by the way, that's not really your dad. And so this photo that you found, even though that photo, the way it was found, I'm like, if you're really trying to hide
Oh my
something,
God, I'm
yeah.
so mad.
you
I
would
was
not
like,
hide it up there. You'd be like
You'd
locked
lock
in
it
a
up.
drawer. Hell yeah.
Yeah, or like in a jewelry box.
Something.
Or something.
You'd
You'd
be
be
like-
like, I'm gonna throw up this
No,
picture of the evidence of my affair up on the top shelf where I put all my things.
Yeah.
I'll just put my daughter's gift up top.
Yeah, I know.
Make sure to write really incriminating stuff on the back.
I know. Like that part, I was like, give me a break.
Don't end this.
Give
like
me-
in big capital letters. I was like, I'm done.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
We need to make our own band, guys.
Tari's like, come back to me, people.
Yeah. I'm
Come on back
wrangling this
here.
in.
And come on
bringing
back.
it back. I mean, it makes sense that because it was her decision to end their affair when Nadia was born.
Yes.
Right.
So it
She's
makes
just
sense
trying to
that
be good or
yeah.
whatever.
I don't blame her.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I don't think that at the time she was absolutely sure that Nadia was Raul's. Maybe she had her checked at some point, but she was probably just like, well, this is a thing that I need to take care of, and I can't do it with a broken home.
That's true. All right, Tari. Words of wisdom.
All right.
Yes.
I'm-
all
I'm
right.
just-
for
I'm just-
reeling
Right.
it back.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Fine. but
no.
you definitely would not have left that picture there.
No.
Oh no,
Okay.
definitely not. I would have put it in a safe or my scrapbook, which I also keep in a safe.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Look at you
Right.
taking precautions.
Oh yeah,
Backup
you put
plan
that
to backup
box
plan.
in another box, and you
Yeah.
put that box in another box, and you
Yeah,
smash
that
it with a hammer.
That whole scene though was definitely.
hammer. Sorry.
No, it's okay. That scene was definitely. I mean, I was happy to see the backstory to get a little bit more context about their relationship and Nadia and all that stuff.
I
Right.
agree.
But the whole love triangle where it was a little annoying how Erin was just like, we gotta go. We're going.
Yeah,
we're
she
going.
was-
And I'm like, just relax, lady. Like,
right.
Yeah, I think she was just really hurt, and she just wanted to get out of there. She was tired of being.
I think
hurt.
that didn't make sense to me either, though, Alexis, because at the same time, he's just talking to Gabby outside. It wasn't
know.
like he was like embracing her and like doing some Fabio like love story
I would've probably
book
preferred
cover
that.
together or whatever, you know? Like it was literally they're having a conversation. It didn't even look like a pleasant conversation.
No,
it
she
literally
looked
just
upset.
looked what?
She looked upset.
Gabby?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So I don't know. For Erin to it was very childish, in my
A
opinion.
little bit, but at the same time, I mean, they barely know each other.
True.
And
But they're
Gabby
connected,
and-
Tari. They're connected.
they
They're
are.
soulmates.
But Gabby and
Soulmates.
Raul have had, as we know, like almost decades of time together. So it's hard in a new relationship when an ex comes in and you don't know how the other person is feeling about them. You don't know if they're still in love. And they're also bringing in an added layer of drama into a life that's already pretty rough.
Tari's just bringing in all the
I know,
advice tonight.
and I
Just
don't.
like-
I don't disagree with that. I just think that as an adult and as a parent,
Right.
you're not an idiot at this point, and
True.
for you to just storm
Well-
off and not give someone the opportunity to say, "Hey," you know. And he did. I mean, he stood there and he was. I felt like he was like pleading with her on some level, like,
was.
"Hey,
Yeah.
I want to be with you."
Yeah.
He didn't quite say it like that, but you know, he was inferring it, and she was, "No, I gotta go. I gotta go."
I gotta go.
Whatever. I mean, you know, I know.
Yeah.
Heighten the drama. Whatever. Okay, fine. Fine.
It's all good.
I mean, freaking drama.
I'm on your side.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Alexis.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
Doris,
I get it.
I get it. Anyway, okay. So we can move on now.
Can we?
We can move on.
Maybe not.
I'm like, I'm done venting about this. Darn it.
Well, all right. So why don't we talk about Peter and Koa real quick?
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Let's do it.
I was crying so
Were you?
hard.
You were crying?
I The only reason I was really touched by this is because I'm not going to get too much into my own personal life, but I know somebody who's gone through that situation of just like they were born from their mom who was in an early age, and her parents are very strict. She kind of went, most moms who usually give birth to their first child, sometimes they go through PTSD. Yeah. And hers was such a heightened amount of it that they actually put her into a psych ward. She couldn't see her kids, and it was just, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was rough. So, to me, it was just like, lilies. So, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, and it's a very relatable story, even if that's not what your backstory is. Like, you could kind of sympathize with a mother who has had a very overbearing home life, who is having like a child who they can't take care of, but like they want to.
Yeah.
It's a really difficult situation that she was in, and like the fact that the only way that she saw a way out was to end it herself. I mean, I was wondering, like, as it was going, I was like, is there a way that it could have ended up differently? But I don't think that...
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was pretty much a no-win situation.
I was like, if her and Jasper just would have become good buddies. But I feel like he was more of just he just was like a watcher. Or, he was there to kind of see what was happening, but not necessarily just because of the limitations of what job he had. The interaction couldn't be where... he had influence, or
I mean, he was a groundskeeper,
right?
So I mean, if he would have done anything like tried to help her escape, or
he would have got fired.
Yeah, he would have lost his job and then been kind of responsible for this other girl who still could have harmed herself when she was out.
Right.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It was interesting though, so Peter, we left the last episode with Peter, or was it the last episode or the one before that, where he was basically like, I'm good. This is my new family. I don't need to know what went on. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay, well, now that the messengers are all, going in separate directions, Co and I here will go find my birth parents.
Yeah.
I thought was a smart idea, personally.
I mean, it was a cute pairing for sure.
Yeah.
It was nice to see Koa a bit more vulnerable and compassionate, and, obviously it's a storyline that's close to home for her because of how she lost her father. Mm-hmm. So, she's a big proponent of connecting children and their parents, I think, in a nice way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an interesting storyline. Although, I did think it was funny when they reached that asylum and it was like clearly an abandoned asylum.
I know. I was like, yes, your mom totally lives here, and that's why it's on your birth certificate. What?
And let's all go in and see who we can find in here.
I know. It's like luckily enough Jasper was in there, but I mean, what if he wasn't in there? So you're just going to find clues that we're going to Scooby-Doo it? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they probably would have tried to find some files or something, like it, because files are essentially like a story.
Because they'd all still be there.
I mean, no, they wouldn't.
Of course they would be. It's television. Of course they would have been there. Yes, come on.
Just
they all would have been there.
Pile of
dust. My God! Look, it's my mom's file right here.
Yeah. Oh, and there's her body. Yeah. Oh, how nice.
How nice. They love that too.
Guys.
Oh God.
I think we got a little too dark.
Oh
there.
Dear.
We need to move on.
I'm just saying, sometimes things are really convenient.
I know. Yeah, for sure.
I totally agree.
But yeah, what did you guys think about him being Peter, deciding not to go and talk to his father?
I understood it because I feel like he saw how happy his dad and obviously his stepbrother, half-brother. I think he just felt like because of the position he was in at that moment where he's, a fugitive or, and he's got all this stuff going on, perhaps it just wasn't the right time for him to enter that space. Maybe when they've saved the world and the apocalypse is no longer an issue, perhaps then he can go back and say, hey, Dad, guess who? I don't know, but I think timing is everything, and it just wasn't. He knew it wasn't the right time.
I completely agree.
Right.
Yeah.
When he pulled up, I was like, please don't. I mean, I wasn't thinking as far as he was. But I was thinking about, as soon as he pulled up, I was like, oh, you're kind of in a lot of hot water right now, one. And two, if they see you just like, I don't know, trying to like, maybe your half brother's like ball goes underneath the garage and you like Hulk it and like, I feel like it'll open a lot of questions. It'll get them involved. You don't want to get them involved because they don't really need to. So it was a lot of that. So I felt as it was hard to watch him drive off, from finally meeting someone of his blood family, at the same time it made sense for to bring in all that drama.
Yeah,
into their lives.
He has a lot of baggage. But I mean, and this is my television.
Here we go.
This is my television thing. Is that like, I would have wanted him to at least walk up and like meet him, not necessarily say I'm your son, but like. Be like, hey, I'm new to this neighborhood. What's your name? And just kind of like get a feel for who he was. But I get him not wanting to meet him at all because it kind of harkens back to, I don't know if you guys have watched, you guys being the audience and my panelists, but How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Where there's an episode where one of the characters meets their birth father.
Yeah.
And their birth father
tough.
is essentially in a really happy home. And he spent the episode wondering, like, why couldn't this be my life?
Right.
And I know that this isn't the forum for this show isn't the forum for that type of drama, but I kind of wanted a little bit of that.
You wanted a little bit more? I think when the father smiled at him, I think that's kind of what he needed. Like, I think that he kind of took that as like, that guy seems like a cool dude and I'll be back.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could
thought
definitely
the same
see.
thing.
Yeah, I could definitely see him kind of like once everything is settled in, going back and being like, "Hey, this is who I am. You don't need to do anything for me. I just
wanted to meet
know."
you. Yeah. I just wanted to know who you were, and I wanted you to know who I was. All right, let's hope that the writers are going to have something in store for us in the final episode.
But the flip side of that is that, like, if he does essentially fail and the apocalypse happens, he'll never have that chance again.
Right. But maybe all he needed was that smile.
That's true.
Yeah, you never
know.
know.
Pretty nice smile.
It
It
was.
was a pretty nice smile.
I think it pulled on his heartstrings. He was like, you know what? My dad looks cool.
Yeah.
And he plays basketball.
And
cool.
he plays basketball. Cool.
And he's tall, so I still have, there's still a shot.
There's still time. Cool.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, guys.
Thumbs up all around.
So we still have to talk about Joshua,
Whoop.
Vera's situation,
Whoop.
and the devil.
Oh, dear.
But before we do, I got to tell you guys about something really cool.
Oh, tell us, Tauri.
Yes. You can now apply to Dance Battle America,
Whoop, whoop.
ABC's newest competition special. It's from our very own AfterBuzz founder and e-host Maria Menounos and Julianne Hough from Dancing with the Stars. It's ABC's special Dance Battle America. During the holiday seasons over the last 2 years, Julianne and Maria have engaged in a fearsome dance battle via social media. Once the challenge took off, though, celebrities like Kate Hudson and Amber Riley joined in, and the dance battle craze began.
Tauri, we should totally do that together.
Right?
Yes.
And everyone at home can do it as well. Here is the opportunity of a lifetime, right, guys?
Woo.
Yeah. If you want a chance to dance on network television, go to www.dancebattleamericacasting.com. That is www.dancebattleamericacasting.com for more information on how to submit your video. And don't forget, also post it on social media using the hashtag DanceBattleABC.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So do that. As soon as you finish listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, make sure to go to www.dancebattleamericacasting.com.
And also send us your video submissions because I would like to see them
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Tweet the crap out of those videos.
I want to see this. I will retweet all of them.
I agree.
You've heard it here first.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about Joshua.
Joshy.
He's getting
Man.
himself on network television. Am I right?
Well, yeah.
Am I right?
But like he also took like a dramatic turn where, wow, he just went on a crazy bender.
I mean, yeah. I will say.
I mean, he went through a lot.
Yeah. His storyline has been pretty rough.
But at the same time, I don't know. I was like, come on, this guy, no.
I feel like you kind of bit the bullet way too quickly. No? Because, I mean, I understand that, yes, this is a stressful thing. I don't think anybody in this world will ever understand what you're going through. But at the same time, you've done so well for yourself, and then just like, oh, we didn't defeat the horseman. Time for drugs.
Well, yeah, and also the fact that his dad is in jail now.
I know.
Like, how happy would he be? Like, yeah.
Apparently the
justice is served.
Happily
Sorta.
taking
I mean,
drugs.
it's still his dad, though.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I feel like
I don't
no. That
I don't
he's
think
not
so.
a dad. He's not
Right.
a dad. He's he's an otherworldly creature from beyond.
I mean, to me, his whole freak out and everything started because he started the drugs.
Yeah.
So he was doing the pills that night before, and I think that kind of was the tipping point to lead him down the darker path. I don't think if he had started doing the pills again, then he would have been so gung-ho to just go off and do his own thing.
Right.
But as long as he was with the messengers, he wasn't going to be free to continue being a narcotics addict.
I won't disagree with that. I
completely agree with that
I have
too.
a sneeze coming on. I'm like, I can feel it. I'm like,
all right.
man. I'm trying. I'm trying to repress
It's fine. I will talk over your sneeze. You look the other way.
Or we can, or I will talk to you since the camera won't be
I might
on
have
you.
have just talked it away. So okay, thank you.
Talk the sneeze away.
Hello.
Talk the sneeze
Sometimes
away.
it works.
Sneeze away.
Hallelujah.
Jesus.
It's
Get the sneeze out of
like
your system.
I'm in Josh's congregation right now. Hallelujah, amen.
Is it weird that I thought that Joshua's congregation was not going to take him back?
I
thought
actually
when
thought
he-
that too. I
yeah.
thought he might get booed off the stage.
Yeah, me too. I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, he's going to walk on there. Some people are going to cheer because they're like, Joshua's back. And then the other side's going to be like, boo, get off the stage. But they didn't do that.
Yeah. But I also thought it was a little too convenient where that guy shows up and then suddenly it's like, here's your 7-figure salary and cars and planes.
I
and
knew
come
there was
back.
something. There had to be something that was up for him to just be like, come on back and here's all the things. I was like,
well, the minute he started
fishy.
asking about the vision,
Yeah.
like being very explicit about like, tell me your vision.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of thought,
Yeah. My thing was, so I had mentioned last week, I believe, or the week before, that I thought that the seals were related to the 7 deadly sins.
Right.
And so I thought that this was going to be like a greed thing where he's like, here's everything you can have. And all you have to do
I'm
is
so
step
glad you
on
brought
that
that up.
stage.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna see. I
good.
didn't think it was gonna be this bad, but for some odd reason, as soon as he's like, all you have to do is step on that stage, I was like, oh, he's another horseman.
Yeah. That would have been really compelling. Not to say that what happened wasn't, but like...
No, I appreciated it.
Yeah, I think that it would have been really great to have a messenger turn into a horseman.
well, the season is not over.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
why. Yeah, but I like that you brought that up because the first time when I saw that happen, I was like, "Oh, where's Tauri? Greed. That's what I'm getting from this right now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the lawyer turned out to be an agent of the devil.
Oh my goodness. I didn't see that coming actually.
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that coming. When he arrived at home and we realized it was
His
the
kid.
wife of Kay or the husband of Kay and they had Vera's child
Yes.
in tow.
Yeah. I
was
mean-
like, whoa.
I mean, when they showed him playing soccer after they were talking about after we had the scene with Leo and Vera, I was like, oh, this must be his kid. This must be Michael. But then they said Brian. I was like, wait, what? And then I wrote in my notes, I wish you guys could see it. It literally goes, the devil's just be taking all the children. What's happening?
The devil is the Pied Piper of
That's what I
children.
was thinking.
I think I knew the minute he showed up and started talking to Kay, I was like, okay, that's Michael.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've conveniently renamed him.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, for safety purposes, since,
Well,
people
yeah.
just be stealing children.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want your kid being like, hey, why is my name different than yours? Well, son.
That was a good child.
That was a
voice.
great
I liked it.
voice.
Uh-huh.
I hope all the listeners were like, did they bring a kid in there just for this bit?
I think they all did.
It was so believable.
Great. But yeah, so essentially kind of diving into that a little bit, this lawyer was hired by the devil to get Joshua's vision because that's the only way the devil can know who the next horseman is. And as a reward, or as a threat,
Right.
the devil is is essentially saying that he can take the child away that he stole from Vera
Right.
in order to use this guy as a puppet. And so I find that really interesting because
Although he took the kid, okay, so Michael was taken 7 years ago,
Yes.
and the devil essentially recruited, Jeff is his name, recruited
Yes.
Jeff 7 years ago. Well, Josh wasn't in the picture at this point, or the messengers hadn't come together. So, like, what other things was Jeff doing for the devil? Or was it just sort of like you're going to have a purpose at some point. I don't know what it is yet, but I will come at you when
Yeah.
I do, and you will have to do it, or I will take your kid away from you.
I think it's that.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
exactly what I
chess
was
game.
thinking. It's since he's such a fan of chess, he was already just trying to formulate and strategize how he was going to work everything. But at the
Dirty
same time,
pool. Dirty,
yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was also thinking how even though, you know, as a person who went to a religious school, that, you know, the devil will always be there to tempt you. So this family had 4 fertility tests, and they've been trying, and I bet you that they were probably talking to each other like, I would do anything to have a kid. And the devil's like, anything? And like just kind of like jumped in and, you know, did that. But in my brain, I'm just thinking, how desperate do you have to be to steal someone else's child from them?
You go in hell.
I mean,
You go in hell.
I would say that, like, I mean, I thought that maybe they didn't know, but they obviously do. But I mean, I feel like if you were super desperate and someone approached you and was like, hey, I found this baby in a dumpster.
I suppose if you didn't know the backstory, then yes. If you thought that you were saving a child instead of stealing a child, then yes, of course you'd be like...
Yeah.
But Michael was in a carriage. Like, I can understand if someone like how you said, Tauri, where the baby was in a dumpster or left on the corner or like in front of a fire.
I regret that now.
Right. or like a fire house. I don't know.
Yeah.
A station.
Yes, fire station.
Or something like that. That's fine, but this kid was at an airport in a actual, like, carrying, you know, thing. Well, like, obviously that's someone's kid.
Right. Well, my argument to that would be that maybe the devil was talking to them and was like, hey, I have, like, I know that you're trying to have a child, and I happen to be part of a adoption agency.
Yeah.
And if you meet me at this airport, we can exchange this child.
For a briefcase of money. No.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
Be like, it's not strictly on the books, but like, I mean, because essentially, if you're trying to have a child right now, then I mean, adoptions can take years.
Yeah, it can take.
I mean, you have to go through screenings and stuff like that.
He's like, I like you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do you a solid.
Right.
And we're just gonna go kind of off books with this one. I'm gonna just speed things along for ya, because I like you.
So,
I guess.
I mean, yeah. I still wonder if they know he's actually the devil,
Probably
or
don't.
if they think he's just like
some
like
weird guy.
Yeah,
Some
like a
weird guy.
loan shark, but a loan shark of children.
Children? God,
Yes.
this
getting
show
dark.
is getting
I
weird.
know, it's getting real
I don't know how I
dark.
feel about this, guys.
Oi.
There's
so
some. Oh, okay.
Part of it is us adding on those dark layers.
I know, it's
Hey,
true.
Man. I mean, we did have a dad that just slept with his son's wife.
Oh yeah, from episode 1.
Yuck.
Yucko.
But speaking of Michael Bryan.
Michael Bryan.
Michael Bryan.
The kid with 2 first names. Yeah, right. Literally. Okay, go on.
Oh my
Sorry.
Vera finally tells Leo that he's a father.
Of course, at the Last Supper.
What did you?
Of course.
Yes. What did you guys think of his reaction? A lot of people told me that it was just. Some people were like, he overreacted, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like someone who doesn't tell that they have a child and their child's just gone, they should be angry.
Well, here's the thing. I thought the initial reaction was just, and then I thought, as you know, at the end of the conversation, he had kind of simmered at that point. He had taken it all in, and he was like, okay, you know what? I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. And so I feel like, of course, he had that initial reaction of like, oh my goodness, you have been withholding a very, very serious bit of information from me, regardless of our past or whatever. And then obviously the fact that his name wasn't even on the birth certificate. So he was like, he was totally upset about that.
Yeah, which he should.
He simmered, and then he collected his thoughts, and yeah, so I don't know. I thought it was a fairly realistic reaction.
Agree.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't splash a drink in her face and walk out.
Right.
He was just like, I'm rightfully indignant, but I'd like to know the details, and I still care about you, so like we're gonna hash this out like grown-ups.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
we're not gonna be like your other messenger who's just gonna take off.
Right.
But I gotta go.
Yep.
Yeah. And so like I like that they were walking through the details of what happened that day. And
Right.
and like I like that she is like, I've been down all these routes, and he has enough hope to kind of keep her in the space where he's gonna let her not give up.
Right. Which I do like too. Yes, absolutely. I do. And I like that. Well, he better not be missing from next week's episode. I'm like,
I know.
who's coming back and who's leaving? I don't know.
All right.
But yes. And then of course everyone is now reconvening. They all need to find things at the supermarket.
Oh my
Yes,
god, that
of
was
course.
so funny. I was sitting there going, no, they're not going to reconvene at this supermarket
One could say it's a convenience store.
I
Yes!
knew you were going to do that. I'm so mad at you right now.
10 gold stars, Tauri.
No,
10 gold
no
stars.
10 gold stars.
10 gold
Get-
stars.
Boo!
Switch to YouTube to see my dance. Switch
Where's
to
Megan
YouTube
Salinas?
to see my dance. Switch to YouTube to see my dance. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, so Nadia gets a
telling Megan.
job.
Of course she does.
You should. She loves them. Nadia gets a job at this convenience store to show that she's a grown adult individual.
I
Right.
love that she was arranging flowers. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty damn awesome. I don't know.
No, I agree. I mean, flowers, I feel like flowers are going to become a big deal in this show. Like, because we got that flower in that laboratory.
Yes.
That
And then
popped
we
out of
had the
nowhere.
lilies from his mother, Peter's mother, and now she's arranging lilies and other flowers
Yeah.
at a supermarket that they're all convenient, whatever. I can't even do it now.
Convenience store.
Yes.
So yeah. But anyway, so yeah, everyone is there for different reasons. Erin stops because Amy has to use the restroom.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Joshua's heading back pretty much, and he stops there on the way
To get some snacks.
to get some snacks.
Pomegranate.
Koa and
for your-
Peter were starving.
Yeah.
And they all ended up at the same convenience land.
Yes.
Yes.
And speaking of convenience, the previous messenger, Eliza, was there to talk to
I
Joshua.
really loved that,
Pomegranates.
actually. I really, really appreciated that we finally got some more context on her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember if Peter was the only one who knew that they were previous messengers.
Right.
And then I guess, yeah, he was, and he never told anyone because Peter never talks to anyone.
Except for Nadia.
Except for Nadia. And Nadia don't care.
Nadia
But,
don't care.
Nadia, too cool for school.
no.
Literally,
School.
too cool for school.
No, she said she was getting her GED.
Well,
so
yeah, I know, but still, she's too cool to go to
Yeah,
school.
Yeah.
and she's going to go to college.
Maybe online.
But,
yes.
but yeah, and so I'm glad that she was there to give him hope.
Yes.
And also give us more
Story.
information on this world.
Absolutely. And it did kind of, I think, push him that much more where he knew it was his purpose and he had to, all of them had to regroup.
Right.
Yes.
And he gave a riling speech.
He
Like,
did.
he did.
Yeah.
He did. And it was adorable. They were all congregating around what looked like peanuts or something.
Yeah, I was like, what is those in the middle?
What is
Those
the meaning of
peanuts,
this?
Seeds?
I know.
Like, we're planting the seeds now? Like, what
Yeah,
are we doing
totally.
there? Yeah.
I was a little like, what? And then, of course, lovely little Amy has the
And
drawing
her weird
that
premonition of Michael.
Yes.
that was strange.
What?
I have
Tell
a
us.
theory
Okay,
about
tell
it.
us.
See dead people.
My theory in that regard is that, especially since they introduced the idea of the different generations of messengers, that she is essentially
Oh, a future messenger?
a future messenger.
I'm
I
also
love it.
on the same boat, Tauri. We have the same brain.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, well, since we're getting into predictions, shall we?
Yes.
Oh, well, we are missing the one last big item.
Oh, yeah,
where,
go for it.
Well, just the fact that the two now horsemen basically tell the devil that they don't need him. Which
Oh,
I
yes.
was
Oh,
like,
yeah, we should probably get into that before we talk about predictions.
Okay. So quickly,
Oh.
those two things.
Yes.
So two things quickly.
yes.
One, yes, the horsemen are rebelling like heck.
Yes.
And the devil puts them in their place.
I was so happy with that. It's just like, I am your god, wings, eyes, blah.
Though I
Just
do,
like that.
I
Just like
liked
that.
it mostly because, especially having established that this is a never-ending cycle.
Right.
That if they do rebel against the devil,
Yep.
then it makes this instance more important because it's something that hasn't taken place before.
right.
Yep.
He chose incorrectly. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping, because even though, yes, they are rebelling against him, I was thinking that maybe these guys would be the stronger of the horsemen for the past 6 times, or 6 decades, or whatever he was, or centuries, or whatever he's
Right.
deciding to do these times. But I felt like this is a good time for them to be able to be like, yeah, we think that we're pretty awesome. We think that you've had too many fails in the past. We're gonna take over. And I was like, hey, that means your team is really gung ho for it. They just want to kick you out, and that's usually not very good.
Yeah.
No bueno.
So, no bueno.
No.
bueno.
Nope.
And my other topic, I think I can push into predictions.
All right.
Okay, here we are.
Let's do it.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Predictions.
So in the last bit, of the episode, before the devil incident, they...
At the market.
At the market. Okay. They run into... Or they have been getting signs about the Plowman family.
Yes.
Right. Which the first time they showed it, I knew they were going to be important because Vincent Plowman, one of the brothers, is played by Jamie Bammer, who was Leodama in Battlestar Galactica. So he's a pretty big deal.
He's a pretty big deal.
He's a pretty big deal. So like having someone who's relatively famous, he's a big famous guy in the show means he's going to be somebody.
Someone big. Yeah. Right.
So I mean, and we know that it has to be the Horsemen of Famine, and they work at a farm. Yeah. They're a giant manufacturer of crops and things.
Yep. So the first time he had the vision, the first time Josh had the vision, there was a part of me that was totally not going in the Horseman route, and I was thinking, he's flashing back to his brother that's no longer with us. I swear to God.
I never thought about it that way.
Anyway,
yeah,
that was the first thing that popped in my brain, and then obviously I realized, okay, these are our next.
Right.
Yeah. For me, when I saw them and they were, I was like, these two adorable kids. At first, I thought I was like, maybe he's finding Michael. Maybe Michael has a brother. I don't know.
Oh.
And then the second time when they showed it and the commercial came up, with Vera, I was like, Horsemen of Famine because they work on a farm.
Right.
Yeah.
And they all ended up at a supermarket.
Oh God, I know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's pretty super.
It's pretty super.
So I totally think. Well, wait. Was your prediction done?
I was opening the door.
Okay,
I was
let's
just
open that door.
Introducing the concept and then
enter.
going, how do you guys think that they're going to break their seal, or what do you think needs to happen in order for them
genetically modified organisms to kill everyone?
Exactly. Or doing something to their crops before they send them in and killing people.
Some weird crazy crop virus thing that kills
they'll send into like
tons
the town.
of people. Yeah.
Right.
And it spreads like it's something in corn or something that everyone.
Well, I think
corn
they
is now in
weren't
everything.
they doing strawberries or something?
Oh, well, they have corn too. We just don't know.
No.
Yet.
I meant specifically. No, I meant specifically that they were advertising about berries. So I thought they were going to put something in the berries, and then it would send people to die.
Yeah,
in the town.
That could be it too. Yeah. But something like that.
Something, of that nature.
Okay. Anything else that you guys think is going to happen in the next episode or moving forward?
I think we're going to get much more Michael Bryan. I do. I think that's happening because they're setting us up, and if they don't, then what are you doing? So I think that's going to happen, and I'm actually hoping that Gabby tells Nadia that Raul is really her dad.
I think that's going to happen soon.
Yes.
I hope so.
That'd be great.
Yes.
My prediction is actually, I agree with a lot of people in the chat and people I've been talking to on the Twitter sphere, that Rose, I feel like because she's kind of losing her touch from going from this understanding open person, I feel like for some odd reason her character is giving something else off to me, and a lot of people are saying that they think that she is also a horseman, like she's going to be our messenger that changes because she was so like, let's do this all together and let's round them up and do all this kind of stuff. So the last horseman we have is death. So for some reason, for someone who understands languages and is supposed to be able to rally and talk to people, I feel like she would be the most deadly out of all of them, which is death.
I could see that.
That's my personal
Rose, you better not.
No, I mean, the fact that she wasn't even here this episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she was doing, even though she said she was going to go see her fiance, even though, remember at one point she said that she didn't care about him.
Right.
So,
let's be real. She really went to meet Alan somewhere, and they went on a rendezvous to Hawaii or something.
I mean, whatever.
Totally, yeah.
And again, bringing up Alan,
honeymoon.
how she was acting towards him, because again, if you're understanding, it wouldn't have mattered if he was in there. It was just weird. It was like her plan was something. Alan got involved.
Yeah.
She got upset. You know what I mean? Like, it seems kind of skittish to me. So that's why I think that she's up to no good.
Okay.
Personally.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes along with our earlier established flower theme. Rose is the key to everything.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Tauri, because I was like, I want to say it, but I don't know if that's like, if that's too far-fetched.
No, it's
so
not.
You said it, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
There it is. It's in the world.
It's all about flowers.
And I my only prediction is more of like a hope. So I'm going to put it. And so having us left off with a rebellion of the war or the horsemen.
Yep.
I want for the devil to have to team up with the messengers because his horsemen are getting too out of hand.
Oh,
I don't know how I feel about
kind
that.
of.
I feel like that's a as you were saying.
Alexis is like, no.
No, I mean, I was thinking of it. I want to say the word, but I know I'll mess it up. Deus Ex Machina
Deus
kind of
Ex
thing.
Machina, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
That's how
he
I feel
doesn't
about
have
it.
to. He doesn't have to save anybody though. I think that if at a certain point he came crawling to them and was like, "Guys,
I need your help.
I need
They're out of
your
control.
help."
I chose
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
completely
wonder-
agree.
And that actually could take him down too, sort of inadvertently. There might be, because if he's sort of relinquishing some layer of power for them to help him, I don't know, maybe there's a dynamic that'll come into play where that then,
Right.
I don't know, remove some of his power.
His power.
I don't know.
I mean, it's true. I mean, and if anything, if they're in negotiations for it, they can be like, well, I mean, we will help you stop them this time, because we know that this is a never-ending cycle, so you'll have another chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and also a lot of people are in the chat, and a lot of people, like I said, on the Twitter sphere, are saying that the devil is actually not evil; he's just a trickster, and that the 4 horsemen are actually the ones that are the most evil out of everybody.
That's interesting.
Got it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's why it would make it so much more understandable if Rose was a horseman, and she actually was the most evil out of all of them.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be pretty
Whoa.
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I
Great
guess
way to
we'll,
end.
We'll find
season
out.
1.
Yeah.
I hope.
Cool.
I hope
well,
we'll
that
find out.
wraps us up. Thank you guys for joining us here on AfterBuzz TV on the Messengers After Show. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and leave us comments below. And make sure to hit us up on the interwebs. Alison Dean, where can they find you?
Super easy. You can find me at the Alison Dean and on my YouTube show, Winos in Onesies.
Nice. What about you, Alexis Torres?
You can find me, oops, that's not my lower third. You can find me all over the interwebs, and actually on, if you love Transformers, on the next show after this, here at AfterBuzz TV and at atorres890. Thank you for everyone in the chat who was hanging out with us, which is Ghost,
Yes.
NDT, TV Clips, Renji, I can't see everybody else that's in there, David, all those other awesome people. You're amazing. We'll see you
Yes.
guys next week.
Thank you.
You
Yes.
guys rock.
Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon.
Where can they
whenever
find you,
spoke
Tauri?
it. Oh, you can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. It's TaurijAY. Also, if you're hanging around on Monday, me and Allison are on The Whispers. So make sure you catch us then, either live or on iTunes or YouTube. All the places, and SoundCloud. All the places you want to be. Until then, have a wonderful time.
Yes.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.